Hey everybody, it is Auticus, and once again, we've come bringing you some gaming information. Alright, so in the last video, I wanted to talk about the Battletech eras. And in talking about the Battletech eras, that video got pretty long-winded. We got over 30 minutes, which is way more than I really like to talk. So I wanted to split that into two. So today, I'm just going to finish up the Battletech eras, and we are going to talk about Tech eras 4, 5, and 6, or the Word of Blake, the Republic/Dark Age, and then the current Ill Clan era. So that's what we are going to discuss. Thank you for sticking with me this far. I understand that discussing narrative fiction and whatnot is not the most popular of topics, as my numbers can attest to, but for thoroughness, I wanted to make sure that this was done, especially if you're new and you don't really have a good idea or sense of what's what in terms of the timeline. So let's go ahead and check out Tech Era 4. Alright, so in Tech Era 4 we have what's called the Jihad. And this happens right at the end of the FedCom Civil War. So the Word of Blake is the main antagonist here, and they have appeared in taken over Comstar in the middle of the galaxy, basically. So remember, Comstar is the organization that's responsible for facilitating the communications throughout the Inner Sphere. They're also a pseudo-religious order. The Word of Blake is a spin-off of them. At this point, the Second Star League has dissolved. There's no more need. Remember, the Second Star League was created specifically to stop the clan invasion. Well, at this point, the clan invasion has been stopped. So the Inner Sphere goes back to what it does best, fighting itself. There's no need for a Second Star League. So the Word of Blake shows up and declares jihad over the entire Inner Sphere. So the Inner Sphere goes to war. The entire Inner Sphere unites against the Word of Blake. This is another one of those wars where there is a lot of mass casualties. There's a lot of just horrifying things that are happening in the world. I'm pulling my notes up. Excuse me there for a moment. And again, that kind of follows the whole pattern they have with every war. It seems to be worse than the one previous to it. So all the major powers will come together to crush the Blakis under a guy named Devlin Stone. Devlin Stone becomes a major character because he ends up creating the Republic and ends up being like the main, I don't know, the emperor, as it were. He's the main daddy of the story at this point. Once this is finished, once the Jihad is done, the Blakis have been defeated, the Inner Sphere itself has suffered massive damage. So, again, they have unleashed crippling war across all kinds of worlds, and not only have they destroyed factories and technology, they have rendered worlds uninhabitable. So if you want to fight in this era, which goes between 3068 and 3080, you do have the last current Catalyst compilation called TRO Jihad. TRO Jihad compiles TRO 3050, 3055, 3058, 3060, 3067, 3075, 3085, and Project Phoenix. Again, as with all of the compilations, it only has the background for the battle mechs and not the vehicles or the infantry, etc. If you are using combined arms, you're focused on TRO 3075, 3085, and Project Phoenix. I discussed Project Phoenix in the last video, but just to kind of recap, Project Phoenix was the rules for the unseen mechs. The unseen mechs were mechs whose artwork was not legally allowed to be shown due to a long-running legal conflict between the owners of Battletech and some company that owned Robotech. I can't remember their name. This includes the war. We have a book called The Wars of Reaving, which is what the clans are doing between 3067 and 3080. You have the book The Blake Ascending, which is a Jihad compilation. You have Jihad The Final Reckoning and Jihad New Avalon and Diron, which is the 9-year occupation of the Draconis Combine, as well as many other campaign turning points you can look at. There's a lot of source material for this era. And if you're going through like the Total War books, the main rule books, there's going to be a lot of data and information and maps from this era. And this is the Word of Blake, as this is the war and what the situation of the Inner Sphere looks like. You see there's a lot of broken up factions. So we've gone from 5 major powers to now all of these splinter factions. So we move into Tech Era 5, and this is kind of where the world, the Battletech world, has been frozen for the past decade or more. This is called the Dark Age era. And the Dark Age era is actually split into 2 eras, the Republic era and the actual Dark Ages themselves. So the Republic era will run from 3081 to 3130. And in the Dark Age era, or excuse me, the Republic era, Devlin Stone, who is the individual responsible for defeating the Blakists, forms the Inner Sphere and creates the new, basically the new Republic. He leads a disarmament and discommissions mechs and other tools of war, downsizing armies, removing war material from the hands of private individuals. Mercenary companies are really going to be hit during this time. It is largely a time of peace. In 3130, Devlin Stone disappears, and he goes into cryogenic storage. But he expects that his ideals will continue. Source books we have here, you have TRO's 3085 in the 3085 supplemental book. You have Field Manual 3085 and Historical The Wars of the Republic Era 3081. And then we have the Dark Age. So the Dark Ages span from 3131 to 3150. And again, in this case, this is where our world, or the Battletech world, has been stuck for the past decade. The Dark Ages start with a day called Gray Monday. And on Gray Monday, the entire communication network collapsed. And by doing so, opened up another reason to have war. Because what would a game about war be without, the opportunity to declare war and have war? The Republic core systems isolate themselves behind a wall, which is a barrier to jump ships. And the remaining Republic worlds are abandoned to its neighbors. So it's truly like, the European Dark Ages. There's just a lot of worlds just stuck on their own, and they're isolated. The Draconis Combine has its own little civil war breakout. Clan Novacat is annihilated. The Federated Suns will be invaded, and their science pinnacle, New Avalon, will fall, and Devlin Stone will return from cryogenic storage to take control towards the end. He will drop the wall in 3149 and unleashes his forces against the Republic's enemies. Despite setbacks, both Clan Wolf and Jade Falcon will position themselves to be right on Terra's doorstep, ready to claim humanity's birthright. So at the end of the Dark Ages, these 2 clans have positioned themselves to be the major players in the clan world, and they are getting ready to invade Earth. Source books we have here, TRO 3145. This is and there's many TROs. So if you go look, you're going to see TRO 3145 Draconis Combine, TRO 3145. Every individual power has its own TRO. But you also, they are pulled from the TRO 3145 book, so you can get them all in this one book. We have Field Manual 3145. You have an Era Digest, The Dark Age, which talks about Gray Monday. You have the Era Report for 3145. You have the Shattered Fortress book, which chronicles the last years of the Dark Age. And then you have Turning Points, Liao, and Vega, amongst others. So, again, there's a host of chaos turning points that you can use to play in this era, and some good source material. This is not an exhaustive list of source material. Again, this is just stuff that I have pulled to help me catch myself up, but this does a good job at least getting you into the narrative and what's going on. And now we have, as of now, and this is new as of a few months ago, the latest era, the Ill Clan era, which is from the years 3151 to right now. So that's cool. We've actually progressed the storyline finally. The Republic, which is the thing that Devlin Stone has created, lies in ruins. It's been torn apart by the great houses and the clans as they wage war against each other. Not seen on a scale in nearly a century. So since the Blakis basically unleashed nuclear war across the entire inner sphere, the wars that Devlin Stone and the Republic come out with at the end of the Dark Age once again tears apart the inner sphere. Mercenaries flourish once more. As Fortress Republic collapses, the clans are racing towards Terra to claim their long-denied birthright and create the supreme authority that will fulfill the dream of Alexander Kerensky and rule the inner sphere by any means necessary. And this is what is known as the Ill Clan. So this is the current story. Inner sphere, which I'm sure is going to fight itself, the Republic, and the clans. They're going to be doing a lot of battle against each other. Now what they've done here for source books, and this has just begun, they've created these things called recognition guides. And there are like 24 of them. And the recognition guides are essentially TRO Ill Clan. You buy them all and you put them together and you get that. There's supposed to be a compilation coming sometime in the future. So I'm waiting for that personally. As I am starting my mercenary campaign in 3010, so I have a ways to go before I even get here and care. And I don't personally want to buy 24 little PDFs, but that's the plan there. You have Sourcebook iClan, and then we have Tomorrow Rising, which was supposed to be out in November, but COVID kind of put a damper on everything from there. So exciting stuff in terms of where we are with the current setting. Everything's moving along quite nicely. Catalyst is doing a good job producing material. We have a lot to look forward to. We have these new mech models that have come out with the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, which are phenomenal. I think in terms of Battletech, things haven't been in as good a spot as they are today in a very, very long time. There's just a lot of interest, rejuvenated, especially people looking at getting into a more detailed game, because Battletech is one of the last, other than there's a couple handfuls, like you can argue Infinity's definitely is detailed, but Infinity's a smaller scale game. So Battletech is one of the last bastions of heavy detail in terms of gameplay, but additionally has Alpha Strike, which lets you play the game in a lot faster, more modern way. So it's a pretty exciting time to be in Battletech. Where I'm going to go from here is I will be showing off the Mech Lab software and how, as I understand it, and detailing my own personal mercenary campaign. So that's what you can look forward to on this channel. In terms of Battletech, is just going to be watching the campaign grow and how I manage my own mercenary campaign with what rules I choose. But other than that, yeah, leave any comments about any campaigns you may be in, any rules that you like. Just anything Battletech that you want to talk about, leave a comment in the comment section or drop a line in the Discord or Facebook. And all of those are greatly appreciated to generate some discussion. I love talking with you guys. So until then, I will see you next time with a campaign report on my mercenary company and how I go about setting up a Battletech campaign. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you later.